What's up, Navigating Academia family? This is your buddy Dr. J. Phoenix Singh coming at you to be able to provide you with what I perceive to be the 5 best tips for academics who want to appear on television news. So many of you have written to me because you've found random things out about me. So, for example, maybe you've seen some clips of me appearing on local, regional, or national news in terms of the TV. Maybe it's something where you've heard a radio broadcast where I was the guest who was appearing and being interviewed on the radio programs. Maybe you've seen me, quoted in People magazine or in the Washington Post. Like you name it, you guys have done all sorts of digging. I'm very impressed, right? At the end of the day, though, if this is something you're interested in getting involved with, I'm very passionate in teaching you how to be able to do that. And not just do it, but do it effectively. And so, again, my goal for today is to give you my 5 biggest tips for if you're in some kind of academia. You don't actually have to be a professor to be able to do this. Maybe it's just something where you've got your doctorate, you've got your master's, you're out in the field, you're practicing, but you also want to get involved with this after getting a lot of practical in-field experience. Totally fine. Just like if you're a professor, right? Also totally fine. So let's go ahead and go through the 5 right now. Number 1 is going to be via this website below. So Publication Academy. Publication Academy, you will be trained by me in the most effective ways to be able to get involved with the media. And I'm not just talking about, television news. I'm also talking about print media, being on the radio, and so forth. We've got modules on there, how to be able to build your own podcast. What's the equipment that you need, like the best stuff right now? What are the best editing programs? How do you use all of this stuff? All of these things are taught in these modules. So if you go to Publication Academy, what I want you to do is take your cursor, put it over Courses at the top left of the screen, go down and select Build a Custom Curriculum, and the 2 courses which are going to be the best ones for you, if this is what you're interested in doing in terms of getting involved with the media, are going to be number 1 is that there's a course all about best practices in collaborating with journalists, and the second one is best practices in on-screen appearances and science script writing. You're going to see dozens of clips of me and other experts presenting their work on the news, on television shows, on National Geographic, PBS Discovery Channel, and we're going to pick out what goes well, what doesn't go well, how we all can improve. So make sure to check both of those modules out. They will change your life on this thing. And if you're interested in checking out more stuff on Publication Academy, I can also give you guys a discount. So you guys can just hit me up on Instagram, on Twitter. You guys let me know what you need and we can work something out, okay? So that's Publication Academy, especially if you want to learn how to publish. If you don't know how to publish effectively, you need to take these courses, right? You need to learn this somewhere, and very rarely are you going to get it as an undergraduate, for example, or even as a graduate student. Even if you're an early career academic, this is a template-based approach that's been proven to be able to increase scholarly productivity over 70%, even for people who've been professors for decades, okay? So I highly recommend checking it out. Next one, okay, tip number 2 is wherever you are. So for example, let's say that you're at, Fox 5 news station. You're going to be on Fox News. Whoever the executive producer is, or whoever kind of the talent scout is who's getting in touch with you to be able to book you, to be able to appear on air, I want you to make sure that you request a copy of the edited footage be emailed to you, or sometimes they'll even ask, hey, listen, come in with a little thumb drive, like a memory stick. We'll put it on the memory stick for you. But I want you to begin the process of gathering all this footage, okay? You'll be able to take it and be able to put it kind of on your own personal YouTube channel if you've got something like that. Even if you don't, building a YouTube channel will take you, 5 minutes? And no, you don't have to build a YouTube channel, but this way at least it'll be online so that later if you want to get more involved with the media, or you want to introduce yourself to other individuals in the industry, other executive producers, for example, talent agents, who are people who can represent you in that capacity. I work with several of them right now for other trainers that work for me. What happens with that is that you need to show them something. And if all you're doing is expecting somebody like, your parents or your spouse or your friends to TiVo it for you, the quality is not going to be anything like what you need. So make sure that you ask the station that you're doing this work for, radio station, television station, whatever it happens to be, make sure that you talk to them before you even appear, and make sure that they're actually filming it so that they can give you a copy, okay? So that's number 2. Number 3 is, if you're appearing on the television news, more often than not, almost always, I've never had a case where this hasn't been the case, right? Is they're going to have something kind of directly beneath your head, and this is what's called the lower third. And the lower third usually has your name and has like some sort of a title for you. A lot of people think that if somebody's reaching out to you to get you to appear on the news, that they already know, how you want your name to appear, and they also know, either the name of the company or the university that you're at, or are you an assistant professor, are you a tenured professor, what are you, right? You need to tell them in advance, okay? You can even request, if they contact you on the phone, just say, is there someone I can email with my preferred lower third information? Right, so, and everybody knows that that's what it's called. So just say lower third. They're going to think that you know what you're talking about, okay? So, for example, how do you want your name to appear, right? So I'm either J.P. Singh, the letter J, period, Phoenix Singh, right? Or my full name, J. Phoenix Singh, right? And then comma, PhD. I don't do both of my PhDs because honestly, a lot of the times people assume it's a typo instead of the fact that I'm out of my mind and did two PhDs, okay? So I just put one after my name, right? I don't say doctor because then it may mix me up with any other number of types of doctors and so forth, right? I just put the PhD when it's done, and underneath, it depends really why I'm going to speak on that station. So for example, if I'm talking about publications and these things, it would be that I'm the executive director of Publication Academy, right? Or maybe it would just be the website, www.publicationacademy.com. Maybe that's what I would put down there, all right? But other times where I'm representing a university, so for example, University of Constance, so I'm a faculty member there in Department of Psychology right now, I could put that down there, Department of Psychology, comma, University of Constance. Whatever it happens to be, right, you can put that information on there and be completely fine. But if you don't say anything, they're going to put whatever they want, right? Including if you just say the name of your company and they write it down wrong, they will put the wrong name of your company or your university, whatever it happens to be, okay? So just definitely keep an eye out for that. So that's number 3. Number 4 is whoever the executive producer is, who is actually there, right? So they're watching everything when you are actually going on. The next time there's some sort of a commercial break, just ask folks who are around, is the executive producer around? Can I meet them? Is that possible? These are the folks who can make you a regular on whatever that television news show is, whatever that radio broadcast is, whatever it happens to be. You can be somebody who's consistently coming in. At my height, probably back in 2015, 2016, when I was heavily involved with television news, I was appearing once a week, like at the fewest number of times, right? All the way up to 2 or 3 times a week. Now, this was killer on my body and my brain because I was waking up early, I was staying up late, I was going back and forth to the station. No, if you're just going to be somebody who is kind of not officially working for the television news station, you're not going to get paid, right? This is not that kind of a thing, right? You're using it to be able to gain exposure, build your own personal brand, you name it, right? Get your product or service out there, get your research out there to a broader audience. That's the reason why you would do this kind of work, okay? But the executive producer is the one who, my favorite executive producers are ones who have given me a cell phone number to text, and then when I watch the news, and I hear about something, right, like if there's a breaking news story that's something that's involving something, like criminal justice related, something mental health related, I will literally text one of them and just say, hey, I would love to come in and, talk about this story later if it's something you guys are going to be covering. And then I can come in for the primetime news in the evening, or I can come for kind of the morning news, the morning shows in the morning. I'm in the DC metropolitan area, so it's pretty straightforward for me to be able to get into the city, to be able to be on these news stations. So that's definitely one big way to be able to grow your network, all right, and hence get more opportunities for this in the future. And finally, tip number 5 is to be able to build what is called a Sizzle Reel and build an abbreviated version of your CV, so of your resume, right? Because folks who are going to be taking a look at this, like executive producers and such, or talent agents, they don't want to see the 50 some odd page version of your CV. My CV is like 50 something pages, right? It's way too long, right? And yes, if I'm applying for a formal job, I want to send them that whole thing. But if it's for somebody who's outside of the field, they're not going to care about a whole bunch of conference presentations and all. They're just not going to care, right? So build an abbreviated version. If that's something you need help with, you can just book a one-on-one session with me. I can go through your CV. We can figure out how to build your sizzle reel. And the sizzle reel is essentially all those pieces of footage. We got to put them all together and kind of think about it like a best of set of clips. That's the idea. And then you're going to put them together into one file. And again, you can put it onto YouTube. You can put it into Dropbox or the cloud, wherever you want to put them, right? And essentially, this is something where it's going to be by way of introduction for other media outlets to get to know you. Or again, if you end up wanting to meet and work with a talent agent of some kind, this is the way to do it. You can say, I've built a preliminary sizzle reel. Here's my abbreviated CV that I'll send you as well. And usually these are the things that they're going to utilize to be able to go out there and book things for you, which is super cool. So those are my 5 principal tips for academics appearing on TV news. I literally have hours and hours of content going into the minutia of all of this different stuff, including going over the findings of surveys of journalists and surveys of executive producers, showing what exactly they want to see from you. And you can find all that information again on the Publication Academy website. So make sure to check it out. Again, always love hearing from you guys. Just a quick little shout out. I love hearing from you guys, and I'm so proud of all of you who, especially recently, have been leaving comments, sending me messages on LinkedIn and on Instagram, telling me that you guys have gotten into grad school and that, these videos and this series on navigating academia, that has helped you. That's a huge blessing to me, and I don't take it for granted. So thank you guys so much, each and every one of you, for watching, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in the next one. Peace.